Oh, that's a great question. So some of the enabling conditions that you're going to want to look for in the pre-feasibility stage, would include political will. How much is the awareness of the main power centers within a watershed of a threat, of a water threat? What's their kind of water education level? Now that extends to the public too. What is the awareness of the general public of water issues, of where their water comes from? That's going to be really important later on when you go back to that same public to support the payment for watershed conservation. The other thing is just on that science basis. Are we entering a geography where there's very little known about the interaction of soil and water, or filtration and groundwater rates? Are we going to need to build from scratch a watershed model? Or is this a place where we can sit on the shoulders of researchers and planning agencies who've already done a great amount of detail? So how much is already known about that watershed in the first place? So we talked about political will, we talked about public awareness, we talked about level of scientific knowledge and availability of good data. Extending on that is including monitoring data. Is this a system where there already exists monitoring equipment so that if we come in with intervention, we're going to be able to see the difference between the work before and after conservation was done? If not, that's going to be something we're going to have to include in the design. So good data, good awareness, these are kind of key things. The last enabling condition I'd also mention is there any precedent for public-private partnership? Now, it doesn't mean that it has to be within the water sector specifically, but are you entering into a cultural context where people are comfortable with the idea of the private sector and the public sector investing jointly or planning jointly together? If you're the first time that's ever happened, well, you're going to have a steeper hill to climb. If there's been some level of collaboration in the past, then you can point to those successes as building off of a foundation that already exists.